Whispering Pines is nestled on 110 acres of slightly rolling land located in beautiful rural St. Joseph County on the outskirts of Walkerton, Indiana. This 18-hole public golf course offers a pro shop, practice putting green, snack bar, and dining room, all in a friendly environment. We specialize in outings for your company, church, school, and fundraising needs. Whether you want to start your day with a round of golf, spend an afternoon in the sun, or an evening with your friends, Whispering Pines is the place for you. Life is good at the Pines.
Hello, Internet. The Morgan You Know Podcast Network presents Balls Brew.
Hello, thank you for joining us, and welcome to the flagship sports podcast here on the Morgan You Know Podcasting Network. I am your affable host. My name is Rod Morgan. Joining me as well, the executive producer of this and every other podcast here on the Morgan You Know Podcasting Network, as well as a host here on the network. He will get to flex those chops here just a little bit later. It is my lifelong, well, I guess not lifelong, Jimmy, because we didn't know each other when we were kindergarten and first grade, but damn near lifelong friend, James Thomas Jamriska. Jimmy, hello.
We get to talk about a lot of different stuff today. We get golf, basketball, and for those people who are watching on YouTube, please feel free to throw something in the comments. If you have any questions, for our special guest today, please put those in there. Any comments on, anything that's happened in the world of sports, throw them in the comments. We appreciate you.
Well, I probably should introduce our special guest because most of our faithful viewers will know the picture in our bottom right-hand corner. That's the old man, Chris King. We'll get to him in a second. But joining us, we used to have to say from Arizona, but now he's back again in the Hoosier State too. It's funny how all of my friends, they take off and then they come back to me in Indiana. They always come back to me in Indiana. It's our guy, frequent podcast contributor here on the network. It's Matt Roberts. Matt, hello.
Hello. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
That's right. Well, you are getting pulled back in like you normally do around this time of year. The Masters is just around the corner. So we're going to get to some earlier golf talk this year, right? We're going to prime the pumps a little bit with some golf talk, but I got to bring in the fourth member of this podcast before we get to any of that, I suppose. Give him a formal introduction. He's earned that. He's here every week churning out takes. I don't know if they're good takes, but he's churning them out. He's putting in the work, and we appreciate him for it. It's our old man, Chris King. Chris, hello.
I know you don't like the takes, Rod.
No, listen, I appreciate the takes. If I didn't have you as my foil, what would I be, Chris? You know what I mean? It's kind of like the yin and the yang of a comic book, right? I need you for me to be able to be at my best, and I think you need me to be at your best, I think.
You are absolutely correct. And speaking of being our best, I think I'm going to hire Jimmy to be the executive producer of my life because he does so well in the shows. I think I need some help.
That's true. Listen, he pulled a seamless intro on us that we had not seen. This is our guy. He likes to surprise us. That's how talented he is. But let's get to the bones of golf. Mr. Roberts, we had you on a while, and there was a crisis in the golf world, right? There was an absolute crisis. We had this LIV tour. We had the PGA tour. We had Saudi blood money. We had Phil Mickelson. We had so many things going on. Rory McIlroy, our guy, on the side of good. And then all of a sudden, in the dark of the morning once, we were told that they merged and became the same thing. But then we were still treated with stories of John Rahm signs with LIV Golf and all this other. So like, what's exactly happening? Are they merged? Are they still two separate things? Do you have anything for us, Mr. Roberts, as our golf expert here on the network?
I will tell you the same thing that I told you the last time we spoke. I have no idea what's going on. No one does. Apparently they've merged. Apparently they're working on a deal to do something. I don't know. You'd have to call Jay Monahan, and he doesn't seem to be on the friendliest of terms with anyone at the moment. So I wish I could tell you more. I do read everything I can find on it, and I know nothing.
So live tournaments are still not counting towards any FedEx Cup points or anything, correct?
Correct. And they've also withdrawn their official world golf rankings ploy. So they have decided that's not even going to mess with it, not going to do it. It's just going to be for money. That's it. If you play well enough, I mean, you got, Abraham Answer, who played well in some European Tour events. He got an invite to the Masters, and I believe he got an invite to the PGA. So there's still some of that, but I mean, you're just playing for fun money now.
I wish we had some clarity on all of that. We don't. Let's avoid that topic because there's so many thorny things still that we could talk about there. I feel sorry for Rory, though. I really do still. Ultimately, he was out there fighting for what I believe, I'll speak for myself here, was the side of good, and then he just got completely left out to dry. But let's take it over to the world of golf, and there's a hot American golfer on the scene right now, Mr. Roberts. There's probably nobody playing better golf than Scotty Scheffler. Tell us about him.
No, it's been insane to watch. He's doing things, striking the ball that haven't been seen since Mr. Eldrick Woods, Tiger for the folks that don't pay attention to his real name. It's his strokes gained approach, his approach proximity is historical. I mean, he's hitting the ball exactly where he wants to do it. His biggest problem right now is, unfortunately, he's a middle of the pack putter. If he gets this much, and for people who aren't seeing and listening, I've got about an inch between my fingers. He'll be unstoppable. I mean, we saw what happens when the putter got hot at Bay Hill, at the Players. I mean, the dude's insane. And then to watch him swing and also do a little bit of Macarena with his feet is breathtaking and beautiful and ugly all at the same time.
Jimmy Jam, I need you to refresh my memory. What's the one skill, though, that they say you really kind of need at the Masters to ultimately triumph and win? What's the one thing they say is really helpful there?
What he just said.
Yeah, putting. So, Mr. Roberts, do we worry about our guy down there at Augusta because they really like to turn the dial on those greens, right? So, or do you think maybe they'd like to see Scotty come down there and light it on fire?
I don't think they ever want to see anybody light it on fire. I don't think they want to see those days of winning by 12, 13 shots that he's capable of doing. But if he puts it in the right spot, he's going to make the putts. I mean, he can hit it to places nobody else can right now. And that will be huge because placement of your approach shots at those greens is imperative. If you miss the wrong quadrant, you're short, you're long, you're killing yourself. And if he puts himself in places where he can make money, like, he'll be fine.
There's my first mute of the program there for the folks there. Got it out of the way early in under 10 minutes. So shout out to you folks that had under 10 this time on the big board. But I love me some John Rahm. So that's going to be a guy I'm looking out for. We all love Rory. Who's some other people, though, that are playing hot golf right now that may be rounding into shape as we get closer to the Azaleas, and Jim Nance being back on the microphone.
Well, your boy that you spoke of just a little bit ago, the sacrificial lamb of the PGA Tour, seems to have a little something going. He hasn't won, but he's playing the ball. He's playing well. Same thing. Got to get that putter hot down there. Can we talk about somebody that's not playing well? That's very sad. Justin Thomas. What the hell's going on with that?
Golf's a fickle thing, right?
Yeah, I don't understand it. And, Spieth's playing well. He loves Augusta. Him and Griller will talk for 73 minutes before each shot. So that'll be fun to listen to if you watch any of the
There's another guy,
feeds.
right? Spieth seemingly lost it for a little while, right? And we've recently had Anthony Kim coming back into the news, right? He was a guy who was completely off the map for a while, like golf is just weird and fickle that way.
He's still off the map. He had one good round.
That's true. That's true. He was always a little off the map in a lot of different ways too. Anthony Kim was. So I'm not so sure if that was just. The game of golf being fickle. But
the great what if.
He is definitely one of those great what ifs. Shout out to Reese Davis and somebody. I think Kevin Frazier hosts a sports podcast right now, actually called What If. Shout out to those guys. Wonder if they get nearly the listeners we do here over at the network. Are they able to stream live like this? Whip out a new introduction with nobody even knowing about it? Come on, I bet they can't do that. All right, Mr. Roberts, I think we're going to get you out of here soon because we don't want to burn too much of our good Masters coverage. But Chris, I think might have another question.
Yeah, we can't talk golf without getting an update on Eldrick Woods. All right, when are we going to see him back on a golf course? Is it going to be this year, we think, or is it something that we may not get to see again?
You're going to see it April 10th, 11th, and hopefully 12th and 13th down at Augusta.
Is he going to be able to play?
Yep. Will he be able to compete? Who knows? But, I think for him right now, making a cut is an ideal goal. which is weird to say with that. He always says he's never going to play a tournament he doesn't think he can win. But I think making the cut would be a huge stride. I mean, we all saw what happened the last time he played. He got a little tum-tum, got a little sickly, had to hop off there. He didn't look great walking around. That concerns me, walking a place like Augusta for, the week ahead of time, the Friday, the Saturday. Does he have the stamina to do it? Can he continue to put that torque on his body that he swings? But it's Tiger freaking Woods, man. You never know. He might go out there and shoot 30 under, break every record, and leave it all in the dust.
That would be absolutely insane. That would be absolutely insane. You want to talk about what ifs, though? There's another one, right? What if Tiger decided not to do Green Beret training? You know what I mean? What if Tiger decided not to bang every Perkins waitress that he came across? You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of things you can ask about what would have happened if Tiger Woods.
It helps with the golf. Trust me.
Yeah, apparently that's what he liked us to believe anyway. That's what he liked us to believe anyway. Well, Mr. Roberts, we will have you back, and we will do more of a honed-in Masters preview. But I want to say thank you very much for coming back on the network. And do you have any parting shots for the folks here? Do you have a March Madness preview? A prediction? Anything you want to shoot off here for the folks before we say goodbye to you?
Well, we have an allegiance to a team, so I can't root for Purdue. It just hurts my heart. But it has been very fun watching them kick the crap out of people. It's nice to see some Indiana basketball doing that. But I don't know. Let's go Arizona. I took them in my bracket. That's the hot take. Arizona all the way. I'm in last place in my bracket, but Arizona's still alive, so I got a chance.
My guy's Grand Canyon out of the tournament. That bummed me out. My guy's Grand Canyon out, but I was beating Mr. Williams there for a little while in our particular bracket pool. So that was nice. Williams is supposed to be the expert coming on here, our handicapper, and here I was watching 0 college basketball games all year long and then rolling him in the pool there. So that's good. But Mr. Roberts, thank you so much. And we are going to do something historic here on the network. We are going to go to our first ever ad read. Yeah, that's right. An ad read. Thank you to the good folks at Whispering Pines. You saw an ad from them at the beginning of this podcast, and we're going to do that. And then when we come back from this ad read, we will have Jimmy Jamriska running the fast break. Man, I was smooth there for a second and I lost it. Mr. Roberts is going to be not joining us in the fast break, and that will be what's happening here soon. Jimmy, you're heading up north here next weekend, or some weekend here in the summertime, I believe, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, you should definitely try out Whispering Pines, Jim. Whether you plan to start your day with a round of golf, spend an afternoon in the sun, or enjoy a memorable evening with friends, Whispering Pines is the place for you.
That's right, Rod. Whispering Pines is a beautiful 18-hole public golf course that offers a pro shop, practice green, snack bar, and a dining hall, all in a friendly environment.
That sounds wonderful, gentlemen. I can't wait to go to Whispering Pines.
Well, Jimmy, the Pines is located up here in beautiful St. Joseph County on the outskirts of Walkerton, Indiana. For more information on outings or leagues, be sure and email John at golfthepines@gmail.com. And Jim,
Yes, Rod.
Life is good at the Pines. There'll be a link to the YouTube commercial for Whispering Pines here in the podcast description. If you're not someone who joined us on the stream or watches it on YouTube, you also can check out Whispering Pines on Facebook. I happen to know the owner pretty well. He is very good about updating course conditions and whether they are open and things of that nature. So we would appreciate it if you are interested in golfing and you're up in the northern Indiana area. Stop by Whispering Pines. Tell them you heard about it on the Morgan You Know podcasting network. It would help us out. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that, guys, that it was really still affordable to go out and do 18 holes with a golf cart, and it's a $20 bill. You can't
That's what
really
Johnny
beat
prides
that.
himself on. He wants golf to be available to everybody and not just the country club set. So Whispering Pines, get out there. Tell them you heard about it on the podcast.
And you can hit as much as you want. You don't have to do this whole 3 or 2 or anything like that. You can just keep hitting balls as much as you want until it gets in the hole. It's kind of fun. Welcome to the Fast Break, the fastest 15 minutes in the NBA. I am Jimmy. Rod and Chris are here. And just for you listeners and viewers right now, my Google Docs document just finally came back up. So wonderful. We have our entire script now for our show, which is great. We have the Fast Break. We love to talk about the NBA. We are going to start off where we normally do, though, the Wins League. Rod, you broke 300 wins. Congratulations. 331 wins, Rod. You are an excellent predictor. Chris King.
Lakers hurt me.
No,
Lakers at 2 hurt
not
me.
good. Chris King, 347 wins. Very, very good job, bud. I'm very proud of you. Your Memphis Grizzlies really hurt you.
Oh, that hurts bad.
24 wins for your 4th round pick. Yeah, Rod, with the Lakers at 39 wins with your 2nd round pick. Not very good. Not very good at all. Who's in first place? Oh, gee, it's me. 394 wins, 6 shy of 400 for the year. And, well, let's see. My lowest win total is the Utah Jazz at 29, and they were my final pick. So I think I'm doing okay right now. So not too bad there. Well, besides the Portland Trailblazers, who was picked for me with 19 wins. But I think we're doing okay there. We also, gentlemen, have a March Madness tournament poll for the Morgan kind of hierarchy here. Josh Williams, the one of us who watches college basketball, is in 4th place with 320 points. Hot Rod, 350 points. You like staying right around that 350 mark no matter where you're at.
Consistent, Jim. I'm consistent.
Only issue. Oh, you've got Houston. I thought it was UK for a second. Rod and Williams both have Houston winning the national championship. Hey, it's me.
There's no way I'd have Kentucky, Jimmy.
Yeah,
there's no way I'd have Kentucky. How dare you even think that?
Arizona. I have Arizona 2nd place right now with 370 points. And Chris King, the old man, who's been watching the NCAA tournament since before it was the NCAA, the tournament, or for that matter, basketball. He has 380 points. Chris King, you've got UConn winning it all. How are you feeling right now about your bracket?
I don't think anybody has a bracket that hasn't been busted in some way, shape, or form. I am just pleased that I still have UConn in here going into the 2nd weekend because let's be honest, this weekend was pretty fabulous with some games out there. And I know I'm biased. We already talked about our hatred for them, but let's give it up for Oakland for knocking out Kentucky in the 1st round.
That
Definitely.
was see, that was an amazing event to watch. I had the kids watching. They have no idea. I had to explain to Jackson where Oakland was afterwards, and I only know that because
It's in California, right? It's in
Yes,
California.
that is where it is from, not Michigan.
Thank you.
The only reason I know that is they're kind of big in campus recreation, so that was kind of cool to see that happen there. But I want to talk about a couple things before we get to Rod Damnation, because I know Rod's kind of hot about some things, but I want to talk about our Pacers and the Clippers from last night. This is a Monday night, actually. I had to work late, so came home and got to watch the 4th quarter. That Pacers bench was on fire, and the Clippers just don't look like they have much left in the tank. Chris, how worried are you about the Clippers moving forward, and how excited are you about our Pacers?
If you play for Los Angeles, the last thing you really want to hear is your coach telling people that you're soft.
Well, it's true. They've had a few games there. They had a noon game, I think, on Sunday, and they really didn't come out and play for that at all. And when Jarris Walker for the Pacers is just ripping you up with assist after assist after assist, you know you're in trouble. Rod, how about you? How you think the Pacers are looking right now?
The Pacers are basically the statistical favorite to be the 6th seed in the East right now, if you look at all the different playoff projectors out there. So congratulations to the Pacers. But I kind of want to just pat myself on the back there and then also scold myself. I said Orlando was going to be in the playoffs. Literally, I realized it might be as the 3 or 4 seed. Good Lord, look out Orlando Magic. But the Pacers, Siakam, man, I mean, people question the price to pay for him. They question the age. They question the contract the Pacers are going to have to sign for him. And it's just like, you guys don't understand. That's great in a vacuum to talk about all that stuff, but the Pacers are the Pacers. They're going to have to overpay for a guy. They're going to have to get a guy a little bit later in his career. And Pascal Siakam has filled in all the gaps for the Pacers, right? He's quicker than most centers. He's bigger than most power forwards. I mean, he can pass the ball a little bit. He helps out with rebounding. The defense, right? The Pacers have kind of moved out Buddy Hield. Benedict Mathurin, unfortunately, is hurt. And the guys that they're playing in those guys' steads could play defense. And so, Chris, your Pacers have actually been like top 15 in the league for like the past 2 months, and it's brought them all the way up to like 23rd. So that puts them close to the Mendoza line. I think the Pacers definitely are not going to win a first round series, but it's nice to see them get there.
Yeah, right now they'd be playing Cleveland.
I was like, Chris, like, yeah, valid point.
Yeah, they'll be playing Cleveland in that first round right now. They're the 6th seed, right? So that's not an even easy series to win at all. And it's going to be tough for the Pacers to come across that one and win. Cleveland's a really good team. And to be honest, 2 through 6, none of those teams are easy to beat. Milwaukee, you have issues with Giannis being healthy, or at least 100%. So, anything can happen in a 7-game series.
It can, and anything can happen at any night in the NBA. And I want to read you a quote from Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a basketball player who sometimes plays. On their loss to the Wembley Spurs, it's disappointment. We came in here and laid an egg. We thought it was going to be easy with no Wemby. Just got our ass kicked. They came out aggressive, just like Coach told us they would, and we didn't respond. Well, we did, but we didn't withstand their punches. How embarrassing is that quote from your number 3 player saying they thought it was going to be easy? The coach told him it wasn't going to be, and they still didn't do it, Rod.
I think to myself, though, that's rich coming from you, Bradley Beal, because like you don't suit up very often, bro. So like it's real rich for you to come out here and be all like, hey guys, you didn't want to come out here to play. It's like, yeah, man, you don't want to come out here to play like very often. If I'm Kevin Durant, I'm listening to that and like, oh, that's great, dude. I've been playing 40 minutes a night, getting beat down, playing center and power forward, the only guy that can rebound on this team. And now you're going to come out here and question everybody's effort. Oh, the sainted great Bradley Beal is here to tell us that we all don't know how to win because he can look at his sparkling resume of his time with the Wizards. Get out of here, Bradley Beal. See, Jimmy, you got an early Rod Nation there out of
Yeah, I did. That's exciting, Chris King.
I've sat here tonight and listened to you guys talk about how the Clippers are soft, how the Suns are now in a little bit of a free fall. And I wanted to just remind you guys that you should have stuck with me and backed the Kings out of that division. All right.
Okay, there you
The
go.
Kings are playing really well. They're only 2 games behind the Clippers now in that division. They're going to do what I said and win that division again and make a run in the playoffs. Can't believe you guys gave up on the Kings.
Sure. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're 6th right now in the West.
No one cares.
Excited,
no one cares. Chris,
but
no one cares. I'm sorry. No one cares. Domas Sabonis, no one cares about your double-double streak. No one cares. You weren't even an all-star, Domas. You're not even going to be all-NBA. No one cares.
It's
You
crap
should
that
care, Rod.
That is horrible. We're going to talk about our all-NBA picks.
You should care.
At some point coming up, but that is ridiculous. That's ridiculous that he's not going to be all NBA with what he's doing. But
no,
that's
not. I don't care about
it.
Domas.
Is what it happens. You know what I don't care about, Rod? I don't care about being nice anymore. That's what I don't care about.
Have
to do something about this situation. The momentum is dying.
I don't understand no more distractions.
But I do believe we should all follow one path in life.
Hubris and ego and pride. Sorry, all that was a complete lie. Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm a little fired up already about Bradley Beal. So we're going to come in here. We're going to come in hot. Jonte Porter. All right, Jonte Porter, my friend. This Rod Nation is not about you, my man. This Rod Nation is not about you. This Rod Nation is about all the pearl clutchers out there that are flooding social media spheres and podcast takes and radio takes right now. You guys need to calm down, okay? This is 2024. We need to stop being morality police. Have you looked around at the world that we live in? Have you looked around at the way leaders in this country comport themselves? Okay, let's stop with the morality police. All right, money is required to run sports. Money is flowing into all sports from gambling companies. Gambling is legal in 38 states across this country. All right, let's not kid ourselves. Jonte Porter is not the first and only person to probably do something like this. Okay, it just now happens that we caught it because it's in the light of day because of the embracing of sports gambling that everyone has done. Okay, so also pearl clutchers that say we should absolutely toss Jonte Porter out with a lifetime ban. Slow down. It's real easy to throw Jonte Porter to the wolves right now. But what if that was a player you actually cared about or the NBA actually cared about? I'm fairly certain they're not throwing that guy out for life. So slow down on your Jonte Porter needs a lifetime ban, because a guy as bad as he is at basketball will get a year's suspension and it will essentially be a lifetime ban. But I don't think the pearl clutchers should have their way here. Let's calm down.
What if it was the interpreter for the number one player in all of sports, and it's really not that big of a headline because no one cares about that sport anymore? What if it's that, Rod? Isn't it interesting that this story's kind of getting a little bit more than that story is?
Because you said it right there. Nobody cares about baseball. Nobody cares about Shohei Ohtani. I know. I didn't even, I forgot opening day was just around the corner. And
well, it was 2 weeks ago, but yeah.
There you go. 7-8 years ago, Rod would have been freaking out. I'd have done a poem about how I loved opening day. We would have had previews about the NL and the AL, but those days are long gone. And that's why no one cares. No one cares about Shohei Ohtani. No one cares.
I really like how anytime that Rod stops caring about something like baseball, all of a sudden it becomes nobody cares about baseball.
Chris, give me one shred of evidence that you care anything about baseball.
I knew about the interpreter case long before I knew anything about Jonte Porter or the fact.
I'm just saying that because there's a Cubs hat to your right. It's just kind of funny. JB Bickerstaff came out, I think, about a week or so ago and said he has gotten threats from gambling as well, Chris. And as someone who is old school, what are your thoughts on what Rod said in Rondem Nation? We have the Pearl Clutcher saying he should be suspended forever, but then that person's segment was sponsored by DraftKings. So what do we do? Can we do anything?
Listen, you have to do something. And what I would say to Rod as a counter argument is we have seen something in the past where a league has stood up to one of their top faces of the league, a la MLB and Pete Rose. You know, they banned him for life for gambling. Now, I'm not saying
he was a manager, though, right?
I'm not saying that this is exactly apples to apples, but I don't care if it's somebody like LeBron James. We found out LeBron James faked an ankle injury in the fourth quarter to keep his point total under 23.5 points. We would be outraged. I don't care who it is. It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty stupid, and it's pretty dumb, to be honest with you.
It's not pretty dumb. It's really dumb. Jonte Porter and his buddies are really dumb. There's no doubt about that.
In our pre-match text thread, where, listen, people are going to pay attention to player prop bets for Jonte Porter. All right, ain't no one of an average NBA
$10,000 player bets for Jonte Porter, right? Like you have to get special permission basically to lay down that kind of money, right? And then on top of it, the guy ducks out of the game. He like fakes injuries in him. Like, come on. You want to raise another red flag? You got more money down on it than supposed to be. You're somebody nobody's ever heard of, and you duck out of the game. But here's the other thing. Again, it's stupid. He could have made $425,000 on that 10-day contract if it would have got signed into a regular minimum for the rest of the year. What could he have made on this DraftKings thing? Come on.
Makes you think what else was going on, or if he really is just this, for lack of a better word, ignorant. Yes, I know they lost. I don't care. Boston's still the king.
I think they're doing okay. They've clinched the playoff spot, right? Or number
What's the
one.
number
seed.
one seed? Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa! The
Yeah.
one seed, not just
That's
the
pretty good.
playoffs. The one seed.
I corrected myself.
Yeah. And listen, they are in control of the East, all right? Because really, everybody else is playing for number 2 still. I don't think Milwaukee has a solid hold on that right now. And I gotta give the Queen now to Denver. They have taken over control of the West. They have essentially acted like they stopped playing with their food finally, and are now eating. All right, and they're eating the West up. And if it keeps on going like this, they'll have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. And at that point, it's probably a clear run to the finals again.
Who do you think is who's the only team that might trip them up? Let's get everybody's answer right now. Who's the only team in the West that might trip them up? I got an answer that'll surprise you guys.
Minnesota.
See, I'm going lower. I'm thinking the Mavericks.
Oh, Jimmy, you and me on the same wavelength, buddy.
I'm thinking with Kyrie and Luka, they got some size. That could be some trouble for Denver.
They got some wings too that can play a little bit of defense, right? Like Derek Jones Jr., you know what I mean? They got Dante Exum, they got Maxi Kleba, right? Who's a guy that you never think about, but then in the playoffs, he's absolutely huge. Like, I have to eat my words on the Mavericks. I thought they wouldn't make the playoffs. I thought Kyrie would be a complete disaster. And the fact that I just said his name, like just regular talking about, I mean, that proves right there that it's a huge victory for that guy. He's so dangerous. That hook shot that he hit over Jokic to win that game is one of the most masterful shots I've ever seen. Like, I just have to be real.
Yeah, Chris. So how about you? Who do you think? Who'd you think again?
Minnesota.
So are you worried that with Cat maybe coming back, and is that going to be any issue there?
I think the fact that they have already proven this season that Cat and Gobert can play together on the court at the same time helps them mitigate the damage that Jokic can inflict on them.
Okay. How about who's the Prince, Chris?
I know I may get a little bit of flack for this, but I got to
Yes, you
give
will.
it up to them because they have won 9 out of the last 10 games, and they are now back fighting for a play-in spot, and that's Houston Rockets.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's good. Alpie's out for a while. They've kind of figured some stuff, a couple things out with that lineup.
They are a half a game behind Golden State for that 10th spot. They could theoretically knock Golden State out of the playoffs.
And how crazy would that be? The Rockets knocking them out. Smith at the center has done very well, so something to think about moving forward. And then Jalen Green has actually started to play pretty well. I wonder why. Money right there, Chris. I think that's a solid pick for Prince. They have gone on a pretty good streak here.
Yeah.
Ime Udoka, good head coach in the NBA. Anybody? Ime
Above
Only
average.
Anybody
I
on this
would think so.
podcast would have said that.
I like how he stops paying attention to whatever he's paying attention to just jump in and tell us how right he was about something.
I'm watching the end of the Lakers-Bucks game, all right?
He's doing research, Chris. Tell us how bad the Raptors are.
Okay, so yeah. Yes, but I'm in a predicament here because part of me wants to put the Clippers or the Suns there because they lost to the Spurs without Wemby. All right.
The Spurs have been way better than that recently. You can't have that kind of thing about the Spurs anymore. They've been playing way better.
You need to let me finish talking. How about that?
Whoa.
But I'm deciding against doing that, and I'm actually placing the entire 5 teams of the East that are not in the playoffs. All right. They have all just pissed down their leg, and it's been even more so the Raptors leading that charge of late. The Nets have essentially given up on their season. We know how the East is going to stand. Atlanta's going to get the 10 seed probably. The Bulls will be in. I mean,
think so.
this is it's just been horrible at the bottom in the East. It really has been. And this is the last time any of those teams will ever be mentioned in the gesture court again.
Okay, so we're going to have to kind of figure out some other teams there. I love how you both were like, yeah, the Spurs have been playing a lot better recently. They're 3-7 in their last 10. which technically is a lot better than they've been.
They're a lot.
playing
They play a
recently.
lot tougher than the Wizards and
They
the
do.
Raptors do.
At least they're showing heart out there on the court. Like they are playing to win. I don't ever see that at a Washington Wizards game. Do you?
Well, I saw somebody punch Caruso the other night. Other than that, it was fine. They wanted to
Shout
fight
out
a
to
little bit
Chris
there.
Vernon, who on the Mismatch podcast said that he thinks if you went up to the Washington Wizards and asked them, like, you guys don't have to play out the rest of the season, that every single one of them would be like,
Would
all
show
right,
up.
man, later.
See you later. Oh, that is not good at all. All right, before we head off this week, anything else we want to hit on, Rod?
No, I just want to say that there are huge games this evening and none probably bigger than Mavericks v Kings. All right. There's a little baseball series between those teams this week that's going to determine who probably gets the 6th seed in the West. But I want to mention one thing. A gentleman getting a chance to do play-by-play this evening for that game is named Michael Grady. He's actually been doing play-by-play for Minnesota for a couple years, and he was with Brooklyn for a few years before that. But before that, he was in Indianapolis, and I actually had the chance to meet Michael Grady one time when I got to go to the WIBC studios and do 2 hours of fan sports talk radio. Mike Grady was the host. So shout out to Michael Grady getting a shot to call a game on TNT tonight, and it's a pretty darn big game.
Go Kings, light the beam.